Okay, let's hope that today my computer works better than yesterday. I was having problems with the monitors, but Juan uh, took it today and he he did some updates. So I think it's gonna work, but be patient. Okay, I'm going to share the presentation, which is here. Okay, so as Carrie was saying, we have this topic of investment accounts. It's on the other screen. Awesome. Want it here and in the other screen. And stop sharing once more. There we go. Okay, so we are going to talk about retirement accounts too, because there might be like kind of confusion. If you have properties that are pre-HOTMA, um, this training is for post-HOTMA, but the cheat sheet actually works for both. Like the steps that you need to do. But this training is post HOTMA, and you will understand the difference probably not next week, but the other with Carrie. She will teach you about that. Um, but to start, let me tell you that the retirement accounts, like the rules that we have right now, is that the IRS recognize that true retirement accounts are excluded from assets. So we don't need we don't even count them. But, and I will explain what true retirement accounts are, but if we have withdrawals or distributions, that mean like you are taking money from there, or because you have access to it, or you are receiving distributions, that's when you get old and you start receiving money from there because it's a retirement account. Then even though that's a true retirement account and we are not going to include it as income as asset, we will count it as income. Um, but again, here the account is still not an asset, so we don't even need to worry about that. Um, Let me show you how the system looks for the applicant. So this is the question that they are being asked. It says, do you have any retirement accounts? And I don't know if you knew it, but there is like an information thing there that you can click and it says what we mean with retirement accounts. So they click there, they find it, they say the most common retirement accounts, and they have to say yes, no. That's like simple. Once they say yes, then the system asks, okay, do you receive distributions? Do you receive money from this account? We are not talking about asset income. That's something different, but like payments, regular payments. So if they said yes, okay, tell me the account, tell me the institution, I will need to have proof of that. Now, if they said no, then the system will say, okay, you have a retirement account, fantastic. Let me ask you if this is a true recognized retirement account. The system, if they click there, it says, what do we mean with retirement, true retirement accounts? Basically, our IRS, Roth IRA, 401k. I don't know these terms, like the differences, but that's the list. And so if they have one of those, they would say, oh, yes. And the system says, thank you. That's it. I don't need anything else. I'm not going to count it as an asset. We found yesterday that there is still a glitch. Carrie, was that solved or is it still in the process?
No, it'll take some time to get it fixed.
Okay. So let me explain what happens with the system. So actually, there is a glitch because even though on the application for residency, once they said that this is a true retirement account, you still see it on the application for residency, and you see something like it says retirement. And probably next time we say, oh, okay, if they have a retirement account, show it to me. The thing is that that's what happened, probably. It was a true IRS account. The system said, I don't need anything, but we forgot to like exclude it from the application for residency. Has that happened to you? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Nope. Well, the other group had that glitch, and we found out that way. Like NextGen was asking, but we are supposed not to include it. But yeah, it's because it's a glitch that appears on the application for residency, but it will be fixed. In the meantime, if you find something like that, let me tell you that the process would be like showing that this is a true IRS, right, Carrie or Lou? Like saying, well, no, that was a true retirement account, but I don't know what proof they could get, because NextGen will ask about it. Never mind. I don't think you will see that, but if it happens, Carrie.
No, that's a good point, Sophie. It's worth talking through. So like Sophie said, the system, it's a glitch with the system. The retirement account is excluded from assets, but it's still showing up on the application. And when NextGen sees it on the application, they're going to say, okay, well, it's an asset. We need to include it, because they don't realize that it's a glitch with the system. So what we instructed Danielle's team to do is, if you see a retirement account showing on the application with zero value, that means Certify Me has determined it's excluded. It's not an asset. So what we want you to do is call your applicant, reconfirm it truly is an IRS recognized retirement account. You'll open up the application and have them remove it. So you'll explain, hey, this asset is not going to be included. We're going to have you remove it from your application since it's not an included asset. That's just the temporary fix for now. Because again, if you send that file to NextGen, they see the retirement account on the application, they're going to ask for more information. So you'll have to catch it before you send it to NextGen, speak with your applicant, confirm, have them remove it from the application.
Does that make sense? So basically, if they should say no directly, even though they have one, but it's a true IRS for the meantime, while Correct. They fix it. Okay. So in this scenario, they should say no, and that's it. The system will stop asking questions, and the application for residency will be clean. But for now, that's the solution. Thanks, Gary. Okay, but that's one part of it. Like, this is true IRS accounts. The thing is that if they said no, what happens? Well, okay, in that scenario, that's an asset, because it's not a true IRS account. It's just a retirement, like a private one. So because of that, they will need to say the amounts and the bank and all that. If we need verification, we will need to get that verification, as you already know how to. The other thing that could happen is that instead of being a retirement account, that it's not recognized from the IRS, it could be an investment account. Same thing. The system asks, if do you have an investment account? If they said yes, and they have this thing here that I haven't included. Well, they have this information here that talks what investment accounts are. So they could click there, they will find out what they mean with that. If they said yes, and we need third-party verification, we will follow the cheat sheet. Here it's where they have to put the information. That's just very simple. If we need verification, they will attach proof, or we will get it. Now here it's when we need verification, because it's tax credit over 50K. For now, next year will be different. But for now, it's 50K. Or you are following another program, like the programs that you use, that you need verification. Then we will have to follow the cheat sheet. I'm going to make this bigger, but this is the cheat sheet. It's new. It's the same as it used to be, but this is vertical, so you can follow each step easily. And it has some interesting details that we will focus today. So Lou, have you already done that? Can you send the link just in case, so that they have, yes, thank you. That's the link for the cheat sheet. I'm going to share it anyways. But do you have any questions up to now? We are going to work on some examples. But are you good? Yes? Okay, awesome. Let's go there.
Yeah.
And now I need...
Sophie, you said
Sure.
next year it'll change the 50K amount. What's it gonna be?
I don't know the
Oh, okay.
exact amount, but I think it will be 52.
51,
Something like that.
It's 51.6.
51.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat. And it's going to continue to change every single year, which is super fun. So what we're seeing is the states are getting away from, I think you guys have some properties that use an under 5,000 or an under 50,000 asset cert. What we're finding is the states are going to just start using generic verbiage because that number is going to continue to change. So we're going to start seeing some new asset certifications, some asset forms moving forward. But yeah, don't worry about that yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Is that an expression in Argentina or where? No.
Cross the bridge.
I don't know
Yeah.
if there is cruzar el puente. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know, but we understand the meaning of it. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, very good question. It will change every year, but we will know what to expect and how to do it. It used to be 5,000, and it was very, very little. So now that we have 50, it's amazing. Okay, so let me go first to the cheat sheet, and then we go to the examples. So this is the cheat sheet. You have a reminder here, and this is for ongoing, division, and certify me. When you see both, it's because there is no difference. If you see only ongoing, be careful and open the one that you need. That will be for certify me. So you have a little reminder here. What I was saying at the beginning, that true retirement accounts are excluded. These are just examples. You have more. Remember to check those if you are in doubt. These are just examples, but there are like a couple more. And if withdrawals and distributions are being received, even from there, the amounts will be included as income, and the system will be smart with that, hopefully. But you will need to count those as income, it's still not an asset. So what happens if this is not a true IRS account? It's a retirement account alone or an investment account. We are going to follow the steps. Ensure it's within 120 days. You already know that. Make sure all pages are present in the file. I know that you do that, but in this case, this is very important. Most of investment accounts have like information in every page that they send. So if you forget one, you may miss something. So make sure that all pages are there. Then, because of that all pages have to be there, it says make sure you review all assets. What do we mean with that? In one statement, and that's what we are going to see now, in one statement, one investment account, there could be multiple types of investments. One is called cash, the other is called equities, the other is called whatever. So we will need to make sure to revise each of those, even on the same account. Well, we need to find the value of the assets in the plural, because what I was saying. And you can also do this very quickly at the beginning to see if there are distributions, withdrawals, or outflows. Those are the three words. I don't know, we may see in the future some other words for that. But these three words are key words to know if they are receiving income from there. This one is new. Sylvie found it some months ago. This wasn't, for me, I have never seen it. She found it. So these are the three words, and we will need to see the intention of these distributions, withdrawals, and so on. We will see that in example number 4. So for now, just don't worry. once we do all those steps, you know what we have to do. We have to, because we already know the ending value, we have to find the asset income. Here we have all the keywords that we may find on a statement that could indicate asset income. These are very specific. Do not count. Even though they sound like asset income, they are not. So ignore them. Now, these are quite different from one another because, for example, accrued interest, maybe, yeah, that's like probably a number. Maybe they got this. But then API, it will be a percentage, probably. So they are different between one another. So we will need to see what we find. Depending on that, you have different scenarios. Depending on what you find, you have different, Loli, you have different things.
No, you were just answering. I wasn't reading the cheat sheet.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. But where were you? What was it?
No, it was the thing. Do we need to calculate if we have a percentage instead of a number, or we can put it as a percentage?
True. If it depends. If you have the interest and you have the dividends, we will follow. The first option would be if you have both, will be using the interest rate. But if you don't, if you don't have that one, of course you will use the second scenario. But first preference, I think that it would be interest rate. It's easier for us. We just put it on the calc sheet and it gives us the amount like a savings account. Any other questions?
Thank you.
No, you wasn't. You're good? Okay. So here you have a reminder. It says when multiple assets are present, they may earn asset income in different manners. Multiple calculations may be needed. So remember I told you, maybe one account has two types of investments. One earns dividends, the other earns with a percentage. We may need to separate those. We will see how to do that. So we have a scenario 1. What happens? If a scenario 2, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go there. So wait, I'm going to clean all my things from here. So this one is super simple. You don't need to worry about this one. This was just for you to see the different assets that may be in one account, but this is actually simple. If you take a look at this one, I make sure that all pages are there. We have the numbers here. I know it's very little, but the numbers are there, all of them. It's within 120 days, and I start taking a look at the assets to see if I find more than one. So in this case, we have something that is called summary, and it gives you like the closing balance, the summary with all the accounts. Here again, summary with dividends, interest earned, and here it shows you that we have maybe 3 different types of investments. 1, 2, 3. That option, 0 idea what it means, but another type of investment. So if you take a look at the summary, you would say, oh, okay, fantastic. This is the ending value, no dividends, no interest earned, 0, 0, that's it. But remember, we have to find if there is something going on here. So I will scroll down and I would, I'm finding the value of the asset that was here. I'm going to see if I find something else, because if not, I will need to use that one that is there. But here I have this with the market value, this brokerage cash balance 0, nothing there. That's the market value. And this is super simple, nothing else, no distributions. If you take a look at here, there is nothing else, no withdrawals, no distributions, no outflows. So fantastic. So I have the ending value here. It works because I don't have anything else but this one, that is total securities. It's giving me only one amount. So that will be my ending value. Now we have to find asset income. And we said that we are going to count only this term. So you tell me. Are we supposed to count dividends?
Yes.
Even though it's 0, but yes, thank you. Yeah. Capital gains distributions?
Yes.
No, capital gains, no.
That was tricky.
Yeah.
No, it's there. So bye-bye, even though it's 0, but maybe we have a number here. That doesn't count for us. And interest earned, yes. So we don't have anything, but if we had, we would sum these two. And let me show you what I mean with summing these two. First of all, scenario 1 was if a percentage is shown. I don't have percentages here. So scenario 1 is not my option. Scenario 2, it says if no percentages are shown, but instead we have income, interest, or dividends. Yeah, that's what I have here. What I'm supposed to do, just add them together if we have more than one. Okay, here, 0, here, 0. But let's just pretend. Here we have this, and on the other one we have this. So we would sum these two together, and this would be for our calculation, the sum between the dividends and the interest earned. So it says add them together and run the calculations to determine annual income. Okay. So how is it that I'm supposed to do that? I know that it's a scenario 2. I go to a scenario 2 here. Okay. Scenario 2, it correlates, I don't know if that se correlaciona with, I don't even know if that's the word in Spanish, with this one. So what am I supposed to do? It says use the section assets with year-to-date earnings where no percentage was provided to run the calculations. And I forgot to open the calculation sheet. Give me one second. You're so shy. Do you have any questions? Am I going too fast? You're good? Okay.
No.
It's not you, it's me.
No, because the other team like asks questions and I'm totally good with it. I mean, I love questions and all that. So interrupt me if you feel you need to. Because it's like I'm talking a lot. I don't know if I'm going too fast. So no, I'm going to put it in the other screen. Okay. So here it says determine if they are year-to-date earnings or period earnings. If both are being shown, first preference is using year-to-date earnings. So first preference, year-to-date. One sec. I'm going to pretend that this one was here. So if I had these two, and maybe here I had, no, impossible, this, and maybe here. Something, I'm just inventing the numbers. The first preference, because we have both in here for dividends and interest earned, we have year-to-date. First preference would be using the year-to-date earnings. So that's what we need to follow. Year-to-date dividends that we have here. And here we have the steps. I'm not going to do this, but you have the steps and what you have to do there. You have to sum these two. No, that was before. And put it on this section. That is here. I don't want to do the calculations, but I do want to show you where it's supposed to be. So instead of having a percentage in which we could put it here, the current balance here, and the interest rate, because we don't have it, we won't be able to use this section. We would put it here, investment, the market value, and here on annual income. To put this amount here, first we need to calculate it on this section that you would do it. Now let me explain something about this. You remember that I told you that if we have year-to-date earnings or period earnings, first preference is to use year-to-date. Now, there might be cases in which something like this happens to you. For accrued interest, we have this period. This wording should also be here for this period. And for accrued interest, we don't have anything on year-to-date. See, nothing there. But for dividends, we do have this period and year-to-date. What do you think we could do in this scenario? What do you think we would end up doing? Because we need to sum accrued interest and dividends. What do you think? Oh, you see the calculations. What has happened?
Sorry, Sophie.
I'm going to give you time to think, to process it. So don't worry.
What we need to sum those amounts?
Which ones, Lely?
The interest and dividends.
For year to date or this period?
This period.
You're good, eh? I'm just asking.
And the dividends of the periods of the dividend plus the accurate interest. I'm just saying. Perhaps I'm wrong.
No, it's correct. So what happened in this one, because we don't have the year to date here on this one, we are not able to actually, because you know that first preference is year to date. Let me just pretend that I have a number here. Why is bigger? Because I'm making it. I know why. So if we had this thing here, we would be able to sum this one plus this one, and we put that amount here, and we calculate it as year to date. The problem was that actually I have zero idea how that happened, but they haven't included that there. So because of that, we go and we sum this period, and we end up doing a period dividend calculation, which is from October the 1st till October the 31st. Does it make sense?
It does. It does.
Thank you. So, well, that's the annual income. We would list it. That's a lot for this account, but let's pretend it that this is the one that we got. It should go here. It should go here annually. It doesn't make sense because the market value was very little, but we are pretending. Okay, that's the easiest one. So up to here, questions, comments? Nothing? Okay, let's go with the next one.
Sophie, I have a question just to understand better. So this account, the applicant are putting money like every month, and they have the option to take money and use the money every month as well, or per year?
That's a good point. Because this is an investment, I think that you may have like certain days to use it. I don't know, Carrie or Lou, but I know that because this is yours, it's private, you can take money whenever you want. It's not the same as a retirement account from the IRS in which you have to reach certain age to be able to take money. This is yours. This is private.
Okay.
But probably, Carrie or Lou, do you have something else to add?
No, that's perfect.
Awesome. So yeah, basically I think that you could take money, but maybe, I don't know how to say that in English, como los plazos fijos, that you have terms, maybe something like that. Because I used to have one in which I put money and I could retrieve it, but I had to wait a couple of days for doing that.
And we need to calculate the annual income just because they have the opportunity to take money off?
Because it's an asset and they are producing money that way. Not because we are considering that they will take money from there. It's just because they are producing money. If we see something here, it says withdrawals, and let's suppose if we see an indicator like that they have taken money out from this one, let's just put that they took only $2. This will need to be, and we will learn that probably next week, but we will learn that maybe we will need to count it as income. We will say, hey, you retrieved $2. Are you anticipating to take more money from this account? What's the amount and what's the frequency of it? But this will be still counted as an asset too.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Asset income.
But what happens if the employer is paying some of this for the employee and they don't have access to this?
That will be a true retirement account.
So this is possible, just having the applicant clarifying my employer is paying for me and I don't have access to this account? Or that is another thing?
Carrie, are you?
Yeah, let me explain the pre and the post HOTMA rules. As y'all know, what makes everything we do kind of confusing right now is we've got some properties that are following the new HOTMA rules and some that are following the pre-HOTMA rules. So let me explain the difference there for retirement accounts, because Matthias, I think you are thinking of the pre-HOTMA rules, and what you're saying is right for pre-HOTMA. So, and if let me, I know y'all have heard this HOTMA term probably quite a bit. I think we talk about it in your training. But remember, HOTMA was that rule. The government came in and changed the rules for the tax credit program. And one of the significant changes is for retirement accounts. So a retirement account before the HOTMA rules changed, we had to determine if they could access the retirement account. If they could access the money in the retirement account, we would include it as an asset. If they could not, then it would not be included as an asset. So you may have seen some files with a 401k declaration in the file. And on that form, they're declaring whether or not they can access the account. So that was the pre-HOTMA rule. Post-HOTMA, now HOTMA came in, and as Sophie said in the beginning, HOTMA now says if it's a true retirement account, it will never be included as an asset. We don't even have to ask anymore, can you access the account? That question is gone. So if you're working on HOTMA files, retirement accounts will never be included as an asset. If you get a pre-HOTMA file, we have to ask that question that Matthias was talking about. Can you access that money? And that will help us determine whether or not we're including it as an asset. Does that make sense, Matthias?
Yes. Okay. The reason for my question is because I got a correction from NextGen. I think it was like a month ago, and Kelly just clarified that we don't need to add. We need to add that account to the file. And then after that, I had an applicant that the employer that I could see in the pay stub some of these accounts, and I needed to clarify if she was putting money or having access to that money. And she just said, I don't have access to that. My employer is paying for that, and that was it.
Yes, exactly. It sounds like it might have been a pre-HOTMA file. And what you're seeing is retirement account for our employer. We as an individual, so if I have a retirement account with Preferred, I will put money from my paycheck into that retirement account. And sometimes our employers will do the same. And you'll see that happening on the pay stubs. But that's never income. It's if we're working on a post-HOTMA file, it's never an asset. Pre-HOTMA, you're going to have to ask that question like you did in that file, Matthias. And if they confirm they don't have access to it, then we will not include it as an asset.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mati, for the question. And let me show you the, Carrie will explain this, not next week, but the other, but we actually have those clarifications in case you are in doubt. So if you have a file that you're working on and you have this pre-HOTMA or post-HOTMA, have we already posted, Lou? I don't remember if we have this cheat sheet.
Yeah, I think it is.
It is posted. Okay, you could take a look and see if you understand what it means. But what Carrie was saying is here, but she will explain, so don't worry. But we have a couple of changes that we will see. But if you are working right now and you need to take a look at it, you may. It's on the cheat sheet list. Let me go back to, okay, so that would be it. For example, number one, it was very simple. Nothing actually for different types of accounts. Everything was on one. So because of that, we are only going to list as one account, because even though there are three types, there is only one that has an amount. So we will list it as one. And we know that asset income was actually 0. I just invented the other numbers. And the date. That's it. That was simple. The next one, it's a little bit harder. So on this one, and I'm on page 2 here. On this one, Rosa, if I take a look only at this page, I would say that the ending value is this one. Awesome, that's it, I end. No, remember that we must take a look and see if all pages are here. Luckily for us, this is blank, this says nothing, and this one too. So actually we have 3 pages to take a look. But if we start by this page and we take a look at the summary, we would say, oh, there is only one account. Awesome, I finish here. And no, we must go on. So I know. There we go, and the cheat sheet. So on this one, remember that we could scan it to see if there are distributions, withdrawals. I see that wording here, withdrawals, I don't know if you see it, but it's actually 0, 0. So we are also there. And I start taking a look at the next pages to see if this is only one account, one type, sorry, this is only one account, if there are multiple types of investments or not. So on this second page, I find out that there are 2. Cash and cash investments and equities. 1, 2. Here I have what looks like the ending value, but we will check that. But up to here, I found out that there are 2. Let's scroll down. No, there's here. No, there was nothing here. I was trying to remember if okay, so here, cash and cash investments, we are talking about number one. Let's see what we find here. Beginning balance, ending balance. We find the ending balance here. But I'm talking only about number one. And if I try to find asset income here, let's just keep the other type off, and let's try to find asset income for one type, which is this one, cash. I find that here it says something, but there is nothing. So that doesn't work for me. Okay. I scroll down and I find out that here it's the other one, equity. That's number two. I need to find the ending value or the market value. That's also something that counts. And I found it here. And here it says estimated annual income, and it's 0. So that, and actually, this is the one. So that's our asset income, which is 0. Now, you tell me, if it says annual income, is this year to date or period? What do you think? So it's just for you to speak a little. You can say yes, no, year. Okay, thank you, Mati. It's just to listen a little bit of you. It's year to date, exactly. So because of that, I'm going to write it down. So year to date earnings, basically. So I already found the ending value for equities, and I even found the earnings, apparently. Let's go down, because remember that cash and cash investments, the only thing that we found was the ending value, the market value. So here, I don't know why they are so mixed up. I have no idea. I hate them. But here again, cash, that means cash and cash investments, number one. And here I have like a summary, and I find that there are dividends and interest with the amount of 0, but at least that wording is there. And here, this one says beginning cash as of May the 1st. So you tell me, is this period or this is year to date income?
I'm going to die with my option, year.
Period. Thank you, Mati. Anyway,
I was going to say period. I didn't want to.
Okay, no riega, no gana. Come on, you can do it. So it's period earnings. So even though we have the same account, one has year to date and the other is period. So multiple calculations will be needed. And apart from multiple calculations, because of that, it's because they are actually two different types of. Now, be careful with that, because that can happen to you. You may find, oh, I found this annual income, and then you take for granted that this one was also year to date, and you end up with a calculation that was year to date, and actually you were supposed to do a period calculation. Now I'm going to pretend that actually they have something. And here, so that we can fake it and make it more interesting. So once we find, and I'm going to see, you see that there is nothing here, so I can just stop there. So now that I have two accounts, I would start doing my calculation. And that's when I would need this warning here. Multiple assets, yes. One is called cash and cash investments, and the other is called equities. Same account, two types, okay. When multiple assets are present, they earn asset income in different manners. Yes, one is year to date, the other is period. It could have happened that instead of having dividends, you have a percentage. That's also different. And so multiple calculations may be needed. So scenario one, no, because we don't have a percentage. scenario 2. If no percentages are shown, but instead we have income, add them together. Yes, but not in this scenario. We only have year to date for equities. We don't need to add. These are two separate things. One is equity, the other is cash. And run the calculations. I'm here.
Sophie, sorry, which one is the period? The cash and cash investment? Is it that one?
Exactly. The one that is here, number 1, cash and cash investments is period, and the other one. And how is it that I know that, Caro? Because there is a little wording that you don't see. Give me 1 sec. That says there, cash. You see very, very little.
Okay.
So that's how I knew that it was cash. Yeah, it's very little. Thank you for asking. So I go to now this one we are going to pretend that cash and cash. And the other one is called equities. And so market value for the first one is this one, and for the second one was, okay, that's it. Now I need to find the asset income, that remember that we will be pretending that they actually have something. So let's go with cash and cash investments. That was a period earning. So if it's period earning, we have the cheat sheet that tells us that the start date is going to be the statement date, which is in this case was May the 1st here. So that's my start date. My ending date, when it's period, it's the end date of that statement, my birthday. And then this is the interest earned. My annual income for cash would be that one. So I'm going to place it here. That's it. Remember, I'm just pretending that we have. Now the second one, I put it here, but the second one wasn't period, it's year to date. So my start date for year to date earnings would be, you tell me. No.
1/1.
Thank you. Yes, 1/1 and the year that we are calculating. So actually that one, and the end date, it's gonna be the statement. My birthday. If you don't know, that's my birthday. I love presents. I love chocolates. So that's my annual income.
And
there we go.
I'm 513, Sophie. So we're in
we are so close.
Are you
yes.
you Taurus? Are you a Taurus sign?
No, Gemini.
Oh,
Gemini.
okay.
No,
but I have
crazy.
zero idea about that, and I'm crazy. Yes, I am. I'm totally am. So that will be it. That's the end for that one. Now let me explain something about this. Here we were pretending that actually we have some kind of interest earned, right? Because I invented those numbers here. But the reality was that for both, it was 0. When that scenario happens in which in none of these accounts you have something earned, you were actually, you don't need that whole thing that I have just done. You could have done something like that. Why? Because there is no asset income in any of these two types of assets. If we want to be, if we had the reality that both of them were earning different amounts, in that case, we should have listed the way I did, which was cash. Give me one second. And then equity. Does that make sense? Why is it that I put in one and why in two separate? Do you want me to say it in Spanish? Someone that wants to ask it again so that to confirm.
Because there was no income.
Exactly. So for even though that's it. Yeah. Basically because there were no nothing actually, even though there were two types of investments, none of them had income. Because of that, we were able to put it as one. That's it. Questions, comments? Okay, I have two more. Carrie, you tell me, shall I continue with this group or I stop like the same way we did with the other one?
Let's keep them aligned and just stop here and we'll continue next week. Okay,
awesome. So group, that was it. If you have examples that you would like to share or to ask something, you could. As Mati was saying, that thing that happened between there was a 401 on the stubs. That may have happened to Mati because of these pre-HOTMA and post-HOTMA rules. But if you have something like that, just ask and we will try to solve it. But that's it. Thank you for your contributions.
Thank you,
All right,
Sophie,
thank you.
Do you have
Bye,
any?
guys. Oh, no, you tell me.
Sorry, do you have any file with this example so we can just review and try to apply everything you explained to us?
I have these same ones, but I could try to find new ones. But I could send these marked up if you want to revise them with the calculation sheet and all that. Yes.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, bye group. Have a great day.
Thank you so
Sophie.
much.
Bye, Sophie. Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
bye.
Bye, guys.